How you guys doing? 3-day weekend, huh? I normally don't like to get up here and talk unless it's important. And I think this is important. So I want to share something with you guys. In 1987, I was a sophomore in high school, and I had just gotten my class schedule. The beginning of school was always nerve-wracking. I had English, US history, PE, math, biology, Spanish, and of course my favorite class was Mr. Leger, basic programming. It was during my second period, and I was walking in the lab, and I saw more than 24 Apple computers in that class. That was my first real experience with Apple computers, which I think it was Apple IIe. The class started with some basic stuff and got a little more heavier with the load towards the middle. As tedious as it was to learn to program, I was in it to learn. I paired up with one semester with my good friend Dean Ramsey, and we both worked on some really cool projects. One of my favorite projects was to make the computer play music, a melody, if you will. I still remember when the Apple IIe played my program sound, Eye of the Tiger, the very famous song in the movie Rocky. It was that very moment that I fell in love with Apple and Macintosh. Soon after I bought an Apple IIe, I used one of those 5 1/4 floppy drives. Yes, there was such a thing as 5 1/4 floppy drive. I played with that computer all the time, and as Apple got better, I switched and bought a Performa 550 with the classic OS 7.1. What a huge milestone with 50 megs of hard drive and 4 megs of RAM. I was so happy that I did not fall asleep that night, and I just kept on going and going. Performa got upgraded to PowerPC, to G4, to iMac, to PowerBook, to MacBook, to MacBook Pro, to iPod, to iPhone, to iPad. You get my point. Wednesday, we lost an icon, a legend, a giant, a man that dedicated his life to making things simple yet elegant. That man is Steve Jobs, a visionary that will never be replaced, not in this world or the next. Although I never met Steve Jobs, I always admired him for his vision, strength, dedication, and relentlessness. He believed what he did and never flinched when everyone else thought he was crazy. He fought wholeheartedly to give people the freedom to choose and think differently. He touched our lives in some way with his products and enthusiasm about the future and what it held in store for all of us. Steve Jobs was a gift to us that will forever be cherished and remembered. A man that was private and spiritual at the same time. He took Apple from the bottom to the top, making it worth more than Microsoft and Intel combined. The most attractive company in the world. Today I'd like for us to remember this special man who always said, and I quote, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." I'd like to ask for 1 minute of silence to honor and remember this great legend, Steve Jobs.